Scanning for audio.
Hello, you. Hello, proper Doctor Who reviews. Continuing. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. By the time you hear this, there might have been new Doctor Who news. I wonder what it might be. But I'm trying to bank a few episodes, and don't hold that against me. Okay, so I'm now going to review something from September 2025, which was apparently it's 9.2 of the Doctor Who Lost Stories, the Doctor Who Alixion, which sounds like elixir, okay? Now, weirdly, if you type in a version, the problem with the Big Finish website is if you try and type something in, it is very unforgiving with the spellings. But you go in and you type in Lost Stories and it wasn't coming up, and you go and type in Seventh Doctor and that doesn't come up. You can do a search via the Sylvester McCoy as actor or Solofri as an actor and so on, and find it that way, but it just wasn't coming up. And obviously, I hadn't got around to doing the review. I'm sorry. So it wasn't in the recent releases. So I need to scroll back through and find it. Okay, that's the background. Obviously, from what I've just said, it is a missing story, a lost story. It's been limited to 1,750 copies. So here we go. Checking into a luxury health spa for a little rest and relaxation, the Doctor and Ace find themselves at the mercy of a malign entity that craves conquest of time and space. Exploring their memories and regrets, the Queen of the Hive, which hides behind the polished walls of the spa, forces them to confront their deepest fears as she steals the Doctor's life force to spread her power across the universe. Now, I'd not read that at all. At all. Okay? This was originally written, let me see, now we need an author on this one. Robin Mukherjee, okay? Writer Mukherjee says the story of Alixion came about with a conversation of Andrew Cartmel, supported by Robert RJNT, for the first producer at Off Me Television Commission. Up to that point, I'd written for theatre and radio and was just finding my feet in the industry. Okay. So this is from 1989, right? And it wasn't made. You've got comments, basically it's wonderfully written and it's very complex and there's psychological stuff going on. Okay, right. What you need is an actual breakdown. First off, is this story any good? Yes. Can I have seen it on TV? Yes. But like most of the Lost Stories, it feels very different to the Big Finish releases, because Big Finish has a wheelhouse and it also has a direction and certain levels of character development which you just don't get on TV. But you also can have character development on TV which actually affects the ongoing character and messes with the characters' backstories. You see what I mean? It's a bigger palette, but of not necessarily more interesting colours. But of course, anything that happens on TV will echo into the Big Finish range. It's not always the other way around, with the notable exception of Paul McGann's death speech. Sorry, the Eighth Doctor's death speech. They aren't the same person. Can you see where I'm coming from? So what we've got here is a story that could, in effect, have changed Ace's characterization and her perceived history and so on. The story itself, and I'm putting my hands up here, let's face it, we're talking about something written for TV back in 1989, okay? It feels a little bit, well, it starts off quite slow. And you start thinking, hey, because I'd forgotten that it was a lost story. I just thought it was the latest Seventh Doctor release, and I was thinking, okay, we've gone back in time to do some stuff like Wicked. And I know that Wicked is basically an early Ace and Doctor relationship story, so I thought that this might be part of the same range. And it wasn't until I was listening to it that I thought, what are they doing with Ace? Does that even match what's been said and gone on with later? And yeah, I get this whole malevolent creature that lives in the spa and the little insects behind the wall and all that, and it's incredibly well done. The ongoing storyline with the characters and the addictive drinks, all of that, it makes total sense. And it really does feel late 80s, very early 90s as a piece of writing. It's a sort of thing that with a few tweaks could have been in an episode of, well, not Bugs, but you know what I mean. So I'm listening to this and I'm enjoying it on a fairly level playing field, and then it starts getting a lot darker when it comes to Ace's characterization and Ace's backstory. It's starting to use her memories against her, and we're finding out more and more about what was going on. And I found myself sitting in the car while driving going, no, don't do that to Ace. What are you doing to Ace? Why are you giving her this level of baggage? We don't need this. Why? Oh. And then I realised I'd accidentally become so invested in the storyline and where we were going that it had taken me by surprise. I was treating it like an ordinary run-of-the-mill story, and it wasn't, because of this new direction. If this had been on at the time, people would have gone, oh, I see what you're doing there with the character. It makes sense. Yay. And of course, now if it was on TV, they'd be going, it's a load of woke nonsense. Oh my God, you can't even leave Doctor Who, blah, 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 blah. This is part of the whole Doctor Who was always woke storyline. But because of the way it's approached, you're getting it, oh my God, please don't let Ace have done those things. And whether she has or hasn't, you'll have to listen to the story. But you were like, whoa. And it's a journey into memory as well as time, as well as motivation. It's a lot more layered than it appears on first glance. On first listen, you're thinking, yeah, it's corridors, I know where we're at. Oh, we're wandering. Oh, we're lost. Oh, here's the monster, all that. And then after a while, you start going, by the time you're at the end of episode 3 or towards the back end of the story, you're like incredibly invested and you know what's going on, and you're like, right, this character's doing this. What's going on? And there's moments where the Doctor's trying to buy a packet of crisps that will absolutely stay with you forever. Absolutely worth investing on. And remember, these lost stories were just that. So you can decide whether they're part of your own personal headcanon or not on your own time. Here's the trailer and decide for yourself. Until next time, be seeing you.
What have you got there?
Just some holiday brochures.
Where did you get them?
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Lost Stories, Alixion.
Rediscover your inner harmony.
Seriously?
Once the site of an ancient abbey, the fabled moon of Alixion offers peace,
My name is Matilda. I'll be your host for the duration of your stay.
serenity,
What a place. Oh, that's so lovely.
and fine dining.
We have a feast before us.
Ace!
What?
You have to leave. You have to get out of here.
Can you hear that?
It's the Beatles.
My mum was crazy about them.
These beetles rub their wings together. That's how they communicate.
They were on this moon before the humans arrived and founded the Abbey. Refugees from one of the great lunar purges.
The two cheerful adventurers. She's not safe. What's that? That sound!
You little box of tricks.
Let go, you bug! Get off me!
A stupid little box. Find it.
Big Finish, for the love of stories. That was the Tin Dog Podcast. All topics discussed are the intellectual property of the copyright owners. No infringement is intended. Why not follow the show on Blue Sky at tindogpodcast.bsky.social. If you've enjoyed this podcast on YouTube, please click like and subscribe. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.